Okay, welcome in one and all. I'm now going to make my previews for for night three of the NHL season. So the New York Rangers are kicking things off in Buffalo to take on these Sabres. I'm going to go with, I don't want to say it's going to be an upset, but I think that the Sabres are well overdue to have a successful season, and they very well could get into a playoff position. I'm not sure if I predicted them to be in there, but I think they could be in the thick of things by the time this season is end. So I got a funny feeling they're going to get the first win of this young season. So I believe the Sabres should win on opening night. We'll take a look at the next several games that are on tap for night three of the NHL season. So the Philadelphia Flyers are kicking things off in Ohio to take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm going to give the edge to the Flyers in this one. I just think that after Columbus had such a dreadful season last year, they have a lot to prove coming into this young season. Obviously, the whole debacle about hiring Babcock. Now they have a new coach. How are they going to fare under that? So obviously, there's a lot of pressure with Gaudreau. Can he bounce back? I just think that's a lot of pressure on this team to move forward and get back into their winning ways. So I'll give the edge to the Flyers to get the first win of the season. So our next matchup has the Detroit Red Wings heading into New Jersey to take on the Devils. I'm going to give the edge to the Devils in this one. I just think that they had such an amazing season last year. I don't know if they're going to replicate that, but I still think they should be very competitive. And I did make my prediction that they should finish in the top three in that Metropolitan Division. So I got a funny feeling that they're going to be a very dangerous team this upcoming year. So I will give the edge to the Devils in this particular matchup. St. Louis Blues are taking on the Dallas Stars, two teams from the Central Division. Obviously, Dallas went all the way to the conference final last season. The Blues missed the postseason this last spring. I think it's going to be a close contest, and I'm going to go with an upset in this one. I think the Blues could come away with the victory in this one. I'm very well aware that Dallas is a superior team or a better team, but I just have a hunch that the Blues are going to make things interesting, and I would not be shocked if they got their first win of the season. Our next matchup takes place in Minneapolis as the Florida Panthers are kicking off their season against the Minnesota Wild. The Wild have obviously made the postseason for several years in a row. They just have not been able to get over that first round hump. And obviously, the Florida Panthers are coming off a unbelievable Cinderella run last year, all the way to the Stanley Cup final. For this matchup in particular, I'm going to give the edge to the Wild, despite the fact that Florida, on paper, is probably a better team. I just think the Wild are a pretty okay team, in my opinion. They should and possibly could get the first win of this season. On to the Music City, where the Seattle Kraken are meeting up with the Nashville Predators. Both these teams have already played one game respectively, and they've both lost in regulation. So obviously, something's going to have to give. One team is going to have to get their first win of the season, and I'm going to give the edge to the Seattle Kraken in this one. I just think they're a very good team. They obviously made the postseason last year, went to the second round, and Nashville missed the postseason last year for the first time in a long time. So both these teams would love to get back into that winning form. Or sorry, the Predators would love to get back into the dance when it comes to the postseason, and the Kraken are hoping to go back to back when it comes to the postseason. But that's still many months away. So I'll give the edge to the Seattle Kraken in this matchup. I think they should get their first win of this young season. And the last matchup of the night has the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the San Jose Sharks. The Knights obviously got things kicked off with a victory the other night, so they are sitting at 1-0-0, while the Sharks are playing their first game of the NHL season. The Sharks, to me, are in a rebuild. There's no question about that. So I still think that they're going to struggle throughout this season. And the Golden Knights, I just think they're going to be just as dominant this year as they were last year. So I'm going to pick the Golden Knights to get their second win of this young NHL season. Those are my picks. We'll see how I do. Overall, even though it's only been 2 nights, I am sitting at 6 wins and 3 losses. So that's not too bad for picking NHL teams. So we'll see how I do once night 3 has come to an end. As always, if you like this type of content, I do it on the daily. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that sub button. It'll help this channel out a ton, and I would be extremely grateful. And as always, take care.